Good day. My name is Chuchan Brian Anabingkok, and my metric number is 284573. And right now I'm going to present about goods and service. In the 18th century, Adam Smith said that goods have exchangeable value, and so a characteristic of a good is that its worship rights and can be established and exchanged. And then the second is, according to Nassau Seniors in 1863, goods is a material things, meaning that goods are tangible and have physical dimensions. This concept were accepted over 100 years later when the System of National Accounts, which is SNA, on 1993 defined goods as physical object for which a demand exists, over which ownership rights can be established and whose ownership can be transferred from one institutional unit to another by engaging in transaction on market, which means the goods can be transformed through the ownership from company to the customer. For services, although we have found a long-standing agreement over the definition of products or goods and their characteristics, the definition of services has never reached consensus, which means it is hard to obtain full acceptance about the distinction between goods and services. So generally, services are related to the economic activities that typically produce an intangible product, such as services of education, entertainment, government, financial, insurance, and health treatment. Now we move to the goods and services. This is a difference between goods and service, which is for goods it is tangible and intangible. For services, and then goods can be returned, can be stored and consumed. It is customer not involved in the production, and then while the services is cannot be returned, cannot be stored, customer may be involved in the co-production. Okay, so based on this difference, the goods are tangible while the services described as intangible. So tangible goods are physical products defined by the ability to be touched. They are distinct from intangible goods, which may have value but are not physical entities. Goods are tangible include anything that can be physically touched, such as computers, smartphones, CDs, and DVDs, lamps, grocery, and clothes. One of the easiest way to determine whether goods is tangible or not is to ask if the person could physically touch it or pick it up. If the answer is yes, the goods is tangible. Intangible things are not physical objects and only exist in connection to other things. Services can be seen but not touchable, which is we can experience the service that have been given to us, but we cannot touch the service. Harker on 1995 humorously thought usefully describes services as something that you can drop on your feet, which vividly illustrates the intangible characteristic of services. Services include business services, social services such as education, healthcare service, and transportation services. Other than differences, goods and service also have some similarity. The production of goods and service require changing resources from some forms into other forms, which mean there will be a transformation from input into output. This is the transformation process that you can see at the slide. So the more efficiently the organization make change on input into output, the more productive the organization, and the more value is added to the final goods and services provided, which will be satisfy more customers. Productivity is the ratio of outputs divided by the inputs. Based on the transformation process, raw material was used and will be transformed by organizations using machines or any other method to make the raw materials into goods, which is the organization will be transform the input into output. For example, a manufacturing of car, which is all of metal, for example, iron, steel, titanium, and copper, will be processed, and the other component of car, such as engine, steering, brakes, tires, will be manufactured in the factory, and then the transformation process will be done, and then the final good will be a car. In conclusion, the goods and services are important to keep life of humanity. Our daily life is all depends on goods and services offered by organization. There are difference between goods and services that we all can conclude, which is goods is tangible, that we can touch and see, while services are intangible, that we can experience it but cannot touch the services. The goods and services have similarity also, which is both of it go through the transformation process. The organization will use an input and transform it into output, or known as final goods and services.